fellow sports fans, and welcome to another edition of Scott Sports 101. I'm Scott Trella. We'll talk Cavs and NBA basketball, Browns and NFL football. I'll update you on the Myles Garrett suspension appeal, and we'll talk Ohio State and college football. But first, here is today's Scott Sports 101 trivia question. Who was the shortest player in NBA history? I will have the answer later in the podcast. The Cavs lost to the Miami Heat tonight, 124-100 at American Airlines Arena in Miami, Florida. We had Tristan Thompson was out for tonight's game with rest against the Heat. Kevin Love was probable with a back contusion, and Larry Nance Jr. was questionable with a sprained left thumb injury for tonight's game, but they both were happy to be back playing. They did play tonight's game, and they were both very happy to be back in tonight's game. The Cavs never led once in this game, and Miami just had this game in hand just right from the start, and the Cavs just weren't able to grab the lead because Miami just pulled away with this game through all four quarters tonight. But Kevin Love had 25 points, 13 rebounds, 2 assists. Colin Sexton, 19 points, 2 rebounds. Larry Nance Jr., 16 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists. Jordan Clarkson, 12 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, excuse me. And Darius Garland, 10 points and 3 assists. The Cavs will try to snap their 5-game losing streak on Friday when they will take on the Dallas Mavericks at American Airlines Center in Dallas, Texas. Tip-off is at 8:30 p.m. on Friday on Fox Sports Ohio. And the Cavs have dropped to 13th place in the Eastern Conference. Division Central Division Conference. And if they would have won, they would have been in 10th place with a record of 5-9, but that was not the case tonight. After a not-so-feel-good 21-7 win over the Steelers last Thursday night, the Browns are getting ready to take on the Miami Dolphins this Sunday at home at First Energy Stadium. The Browns are 10.5 favorites to win this Sunday's game against the Dolphins. This is the third time the Browns have been favored to win by more than 10 points in the 21st century. And this is the largest point spread in NFL history and the team's history. Now, the Browns need to really put the pressure on the Dolphins' running game, especially besides their pass rush, and really try to stop quarterback Ryan Fitzpatrick. So, and they really need to establish a good running game and still find their true identity because they want to keep their win streak alive and get it to a 3-game win streak. And I think they're going to do just that this Sunday because I really think they're going to win this week. And Freddie Kitchens says Browns tight end David Njoku is designated to return from injury reserve. Njoku suffered a wrist injury in Week 2 against the Jets, and he did return to practice today in Berea, and he was elected to have surgery to get him back a lot faster. I'm going to just kick off is Sunday at 1 p.m. on Fox, and I have an update now on some breaking news, an update on the Myles Garrett suspension appeal. Myles Garrett is back in Cleveland after his appeal hearing in New York today, and when asked about the appeal hearing, Garrett denied a comment, and a decision on Garrett's appeal is expected to be made by league officer James Thrash in the next day or two at the end of this week. And I will keep you updated on this developing story, and I will let you know when the decision comes in, and I will have it right then and there, and it will be breaking news. So stay tuned for that breaking news by the end of this week. If not, tomorrow on Scott Sports 101 NFL Football Sunday. undefeated 10-0 Ohio State Buckeyes will look to remain undefeated and go to 11-0 as they will take on the Penn State Nittany Lions, who won last week and who beat Michigan State last week, as a matter of fact, at Ohio Stadium in Columbus. The Buckeyes ranked number 2 in the Big Ten in BCS, and this game will be the Buckeyes' biggest challenge of the season. Ryan Day says he liked the Buckeyes' performance in last week's win against Rutgers, and he knows that Penn State will be a big challenge for Ohio State this Saturday, but Day feels this Buckeyes team is ready for the big challenge this weekend. Kickoff is at 12 p.m. on Fox. And I really feel the Buckeyes are going to have their way with Penn State and really get the win in this game this weekend. And we have a great Thursday night football game for you tomorrow. The Houston Texans and the Indianapolis Colts will square off tomorrow night at I think it's at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. Check me if I'm wrong. And I really think I will have my Thursday night pick for tomorrow, and I will let you know who I feel is going to have the edge in this game. I feel is going to win it, and I'll break it down and give what I feel both teams need to do and my thoughts. And kickoff for that game tomorrow is at 8:20 on NBC. And so I really will give my thoughts on that and who I feel is going to prevail and win that game tomorrow. I'm going to give some more thoughts on the Myles Garrett suspension, appeal suspension, and some more thoughts on the Buckeyes in just a moment. But right now, it is time to reveal the answer to today's Scott Sports 101 trivia question. Who was the shortest player in NBA history? And if you said Muggsy Bogues, you are correct. At 5 foot 3 inches and 5 foot 3 inches, point guard Muggsy Bogues was the shortest player in NBA history. While playing for the Washington Bullets, now known as the Washington Wizards, he was teammates with Menunet Bol, who was one of the tallest players in NBA history, standing at almost 7 feet 7 inches. And I will have another question on my next podcast, so stay tuned for that. Now, getting back to the Myles Garrett suspension appeal, he was back in Cleveland. He returned a little bit after 9 o'clock from his appeal, his suspension appeal in New York. And he did not comment with the media, but he did. Before he appealed, he filed something. Before he filed the appeal. He talked with NFL, with not only the league officers, James Thurash and Derek Brooks, but also NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell. And he says his poise could be crucial. Could be crucial in the final decision of the suspension appeal. But I think Myles Garrett has learned from his mistakes. He knows what he did was wrong and it was unacceptable. And he wants to really get a reduction and just have to pay a fine. And Brown sources say they want to just get a reduction. They want the same thing, and they want to get Myles Garrett back on the field as soon as possible. Well, that's just about going to wrap it up for Scott Sports 101 for this edition. And I'll be back tomorrow night with Scott Sports 101 Thursday Night Football pregame show. And I will get my thoughts and my Thursday night pick and who I feel has the edge. And I will have the post-game show once the Texans-Colts game is concluded. But until then, always remember, be a team player each and every day in every way possible. So long, everybody. 3, 2, 1, I'm done.